Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, June 21st, 2018. Just want to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice, not making any recommendations, always for your further homework. Good morning, Sue here. Hope you've had a great week so far. We only have about 7 trading days left in the month of June, and the month of June's candle will complete the quarterly candle, so it'll be a super interesting week ahead, that's for sure. But with that, let's get into today's video. If you know me, you know I always start my videos off with a look at the Russell Index. I use the Russell as my simple proxy for the markets overall. As long as the Russell is moving higher, I am adding new names to my watch list. When it's moving lower, I'm getting cautious and defensive. So we are looking at the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. And I like to step back and take a look at the bigger time frame. So we're looking at the 5-year monthly. And I don't have any indicator on my chart here except for this blue line, which is the 8-day EMA. You can see that the candle for the month of May was a bullish one. The prior several candles were consolidating, so this is January, February, March, April, trading kind of sideways, but we had a bullish candle in the month of May, pushing us up and over this area, and so far for the month of June, a bullish candle shaping up. I am going to put my drawings back on here. And this black diagonal line is important to me. I like to see price on the Russell up and over that black diagonal. You can see how it held price in through all of 2017, but then we had this little breakout in the latter part of the year. It cratered below in the early part of 18, but it has managed for the first time in the month of May to complete a nice bullish candle up and over this black diagonal line. So I have my little pink line here of more short-term support resistance at the top of these candles, and I'm keeping an eye on this area. So these are, I'm ignoring these for now. This is medium and long term. I'm really kind of focusing in on this area. So let's move it away from the 5-year monthly to the 1-year weekly. And as you can see, we've got price up and over the 8-day EMA on the weekly chart. We've got a weekly candle that looks pretty bullish so far. Let's move it from the weekly to the daily. Let's go 6-month daily. And we had consolidation for several days and then a strong day yesterday. It looks as though we may get a softer open this morning. I'm filming this a little early. It's 7 a.m. where I live. So the market will open in a couple of hours, but so far it looks like a soft open. So we'll see what happens. But with price on the Russell up and over that 8-day EMA on the weekly and daily and showing that price strength, I will put a new chart forward this morning. And the chart that I'm adding to my watch list this morning is Methanex Corporation, ticker symbol MEOH on the NASDAQ exchange. This is a dual listed Canadian company, so it trades on both the Canadian and US exchanges. We are looking at it on the US side. The volume's a little light on the US side, but it's a very big Canadian company. I know there are a lot of Canadian viewers, so I am featuring Methanex today. For those of you not familiar with the company, they are a chemical company in the basic materials space. The corporation engages in the production, marketing, supply, and distribution of methanol used in industrial production, building materials, plastics, that sort of thing. You know me at Chart of the Day Cafe. It is all about the scores underneath my charts, and Methanex has a really nice high value score, an exceptionally high value score, along with a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 32%, a current PE of 14.78, and it has a dividend yield currently of 2.21%. So with that, let's get into the chart. We're looking at the 2-year weekly chart. You can see on the 2-year weekly, it's in this beautiful uptrend. It's up and over this area of long-term support resistance, and it's consolidating in an area where I think it looks pretty interesting. Overhead, sky is blue. I call it sky is blue. There's absolutely no overhead resistance. Should the markets continue higher and Methanex go higher, It's never been higher. It's sailing into sky is blue territory. So we will see how Methanex trades in the days and weeks ahead, but I think this is a very good chart to keep an eye on. So I'm going to move it away from the 2-year weekly to the 6-month daily. And I like to see patterns like this where it kind of consolidates, moves a little bit sideways, but I know everyone has their own way of doing things. I like to see price up and over this blue line, which is the 8-day EMA. And for me, I use a 3 and 8. I want to see the pink line, which is the 3 EMA, cross over the blue. So I will be in a strong market environment. Should the futures turn from red to green later in the day and this uptrend continue, I would be looking for Methanex to start lifting into this area and my green circle and get that cross that I'm looking for. But just as a reminder, sitting at a really micro area of support in a long-term uptrend, up and over long-term support resistance with no resistance overhead. So beautiful scores, dividend, low PE, everything I like to see. This one is worth keeping an eye on here. Along with my new watch list pick, I also like to take a look at the sector that it's in, and for that we're looking at XLB, which is the ETF for the materials sector 5-year monthly chart. I'm giving you the 5-year to give you perspective. It started its uptrend 2 years ago, so it's been in this strong uptrend for the last 2 years. It's been consolidating a bit here, but I can draw a line of support resistance in here. These candles here help me identify that support resistance. You can see where we are here for the month of June. I'm going to move it away from the monthly to the 9-month daily. And you can see that we're up and over that area of support. So this sector is also in a strong uptrend. Along with that, I like to take a look at seasonality. And for that, I go over to equityclock.com, a really excellent site. And as you can see, Methanex starts to come into seasonal favor at this time of year. No guarantee that happens again this year, but always a good data point to know. I also like to spin over to FinViz and see if I've got analyst support for my new watch list pick. And as you can see, pretty favorable analyst coverage. I'm also going to include a couple of these articles. Methanex is a Zacks #1 pick. This is a recent Zacks article dated June 15th, why Methanex could be an impressive growth stock. So love the chart, love the scores, love the sector it's in. In a continued strong market environment, Methanex is one to keep an eye on here for sure. And so to quickly recap, let's go back and check the boxes. I started today's video with a look at the Russell Index, and we note that overall the Russell is in an uptrend with price currently up and over the 8-day EMA on both the daily and weekly charts. Having said that, the futures are a little soft this morning. We're coming into the end of the month and the quarter. Anything can happen. You want to be extra cautious, vigilant, and stick to your rules. We looked at the 5-year chart for MEOH, and we note that it's in an uptrend. It's in a 2-year uptrend and at an area of support and possible price strength continuation, emphasis on possible. We looked at the sector that it's in. The sector is also in a 2-year uptrend and at an area of support. Methanex has a great value score, really nice high value score. These two are highlighted because they're absolutely essential for me. Great value score, great growth score with a forecasted earnings growth rate going forward of 32%. Current dividend yield of 2.21%. It does not have that 3 and 8 EMA daily cross trigger, so this is not checked. It does have seasonality in its favor. We looked at the seasonal chart. It's coming into that seasonal favor time. It's got analyst support. We looked at FinViz. It's also a Zacks #1 strong buy, as indicated in the article I will include with today's video. We talked about sky is blue, no overhead resistance. Should Methanex move higher from here, there's no resistance overhead. And they also announced a stock buyback program in March of this year, authorizing them to buy over 6 million shares. So that's an interesting aspect as well. Stock buyback programs are usually announced by companies that feel their shares and stock are undervalued. It's got a current PE of 14.78, and it looks as though their next earnings date is July 25th. Thank you for watching today's video. As a reminder, these videos go out every Tuesday and Thursday morning. Have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll see you next Tuesday.